The coordinators finally talk. It's about time. Yo, by the way, I kicked Dingbat here, so they finally speak. We finally got to hear from Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore. We knew that we hired them, but we haven't heard anything from them since they've been hired, and it's May, which is kind of crazy, but finally today we got to hear from them, and the question is this. Do they make you feel better about where the Eagles are at and where the Eagles are going? Do you feel better that these are your coordinators? I got to tell you, I do in some respect, and we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, I'm still reeling about that Deshaun Jackson, Shady McCoy, that podcast. Wow, man, to just think that Chip Dip Kelly destroyed that nucleus is really, it's unbelievable to me. It is. But if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. Definitely check it out. And also, if you haven't got your pre-order, your Cooper DeJean shirts, make sure you do it. Link is in the description. Now, as I said, the coordinators met with the press today. And really, to me, the one I wanted to hear from the most was Vic Fangio. Because I want to know, what is he going to do on defense? How is this defense going to be improved? And the one thing I can tell you right off the bat, experience matters. The Eagles did not have the experience last year. They did not know what to do when things went bad. And he talked about what you do in those situations. And he talked about how you got to get back to the basics. The Eagles never got back to basics. The Eagles fired the defensive coordinator. Okay? But, you know, I thought some of the things that Vic Fangio said were kind of interesting. Okay? First and foremost, I like that he said that you have to be able to give different looks and do different things every week in the NFL. You can't just always say, hey, I run this system, and then you just go in and you run the same system no matter who you're playing on offense, how it's different. And he says he likes to throw things early at teams, at the players, let them learn. Here's what he said himself.
I think one of the worst things you can do is come week 3, week 5, man, we could really use this scheme, but it hadn't been introduced to the players yet. Whereas if you introduced it to them in training camp and worked on it, when you pull it back out 3-4 weeks later, there's recall. So we'll throw a lot at them in training camp to see what best fits for them, what they're good at, and then try and whittle it down. But always keeping some stuff in the bank in case we need it at some point during the season.
So that's good, right? He's going to throw things at those guys early. They're going to get their feet wet in multiple things that they do. And really, it's a feeling out process for him right now. He's got to learn what guys do better and what guys do certain things not so good. And then you have to adjust accordingly. I still think when you look at like Cooper DeJean, I think you got to put him in the inside. That's what it sounds like they're going to do with him. It's sounding like now that he's going to start at the nickel corner position. So we'll see how he adjusts. I think that's much better than him being on the outside. Vic Fangio also talked about Quinyon Mitchell. This is what he said.
Obviously got good movement. He's got good size for a corner. He's going to have to adapt to the NFL game, covering NFL receivers, NFL schemes in the passing game. There's a lot to learn. And but we think he's the right guy, you know, emotionally and mentally to do that. And hopefully he'll pay dividends quickly rather than later.
So Vic Fangio is old school. So he's not just going to go and give these rookies starting jobs and just let them play. Everybody's going to have to earn it from training camp. Now, Quinyon Mitchell, I expect him to make significant impact for his team, as I do Cooper DeJean, as I do Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And he did talk about the linebacker situation. And it was interesting because when he was talking about the inside linebackers, the first guy he brought up was Zach Braun. And he was talking about that he didn't really do it a lot in New Orleans, but he thinks he can. And I think it's going to be a very interesting battle to see what happens at the inside linebacker position this year. All About the Birds wrote this: the linebacker position is one to watch this year. How will the group look in 24? Devin White, Nakobe Dean, Jeremiah Trotter, Orrin Burks, Bam Van Summeren, Brandon Smith, and Zach Braun are guys to watch. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see. The question will be for me, the main question at linebacker is, can you get Devin White back to form? Can you get him playing at a Pro Bowl level again? If you can, this defense will have tremendous success. He also talked about the importance of Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis to be in shape, and I think that's going to be very important. All in all, what I would say when it came to Vic Fangio and what he had to say, I feel like we've got a coordinator in there that knows what he's doing. Nothing is going to get too bad. The question is, how good will it be, and how much will he be willing to make the adjustments that he needs to make? We've got a lot of questions on defense, but we've got a lot of talent, and we just got 2 top 20 players. So we're going to see what Vic Fangio can do this year. It's going to be interesting, no doubt about it. And then, Kellen Moore came in, and really, Kellen Moore was kind of just what I thought he was going to say. We got to get Barkley. We got a lot of talent. We got to use these guys, and we got to make sure that these guys are on getting the ball. And some days they're going to get the ball a lot. Some days they're not going to get the ball a lot. All that kind of stuff. The most interesting thing about the offensive coordinator and the press conference today was talking about the language for the play calling and how they're keeping a lot of the language in Philly's playbook last year. They're also going to take some stuff that they used in Dallas and some of the language that was used with the Chargers, and he's going to kind of fuse it together. But clearly, they don't want to get rid of certain things that were in the playbook last year. So it's looking more like he's going to polish up what we already had. Hopefully no more of those stupid wide receiver screens. But he's also going to add some other elements. But, to me, Kellen Moore, the big thing with him is he's going to come in and he's going to show Dallas that he was a scapegoat. He was a scapegoat for Dak Prescott choking all the time. And the fact that they still blame Kellen Moore for their playoff losses when Dak loses without him is mind-boggling. So with the talent he has, he should be like, this offense should be humming, man. This offense should be going out, scoring almost 30 points a game. They should be killing it this year, in my opinion. And, we'll see. But Kellen Moore, he's got a lot to work with. And really, he didn't say anything that stood out to me that made me say, oh, okay. He kind of talked about Cam Jurgens will have similar role to calling out some of the things that Jason Kelsey did in terms of, alignments and things like that. He also uses a lot more motion than the Eagles used in the past, so we're going to see a lot more of that. But, this offense is pretty much ready to go. It's all about, in my opinion, what the defense is going to be. I wish it would have been nice if the media would have asked Vic Fangio some real questions, like tougher questions, in my opinion. There are a lot of softball, a lot of big-ass softballs being thrown. Why didn't you ask about Hassan Reddick? Why didn't you say, Hassan Reddick leaving Philly, was that purely money, or was it other things involved? Did you not want him? Did you not think he would fit your system? I wish they would have asked some questions like that, but they didn't. And instead, we got what we got. So, it is what it is. The fact that they met with the media in May is kind of weird, too. It's been a while. And getting back to Kellen Moore for a second, I really wonder, how much power Nick Sirianni is going to have into anything they do offense. They're clearly keeping a strong foundation of the offense they already had. And Kellen Moore is going to come in. He's going to polish it up. He's going to add some things that he did in Dallas, add things he did with the Chargers, and kind of blend it and merge it into one. And we're going to see how well he could do it. But how much power, how much say will Nick Sirianni have? I don't think he has much of it at all. I don't. And so it's going to be It's going to be a high-powered offense. I think they're going to score close to 30 points a game. But Kellen Moore overall really didn't say anything. And he didn't give you anything, Vic Fangio, I thought he was a little more forthcoming. He said, yeah, I would have been the defensive coordinator if God, why can't I think of his stupid name right now? I'm losing my mind. But I would have been a defensive coordinator if we knew that was an opening position earlier. He said that he's hoping this is his last stop. So clearly he's in Philly. He's around family. He's close to them, and yeah, Jonathan Gannon, the mother humper. Jonathan Gannon. Yeah, he said if Jonathan Gannon, didn't screw the Eagles the way he did, then he probably would have been a defensive coordinator last year. So thanks a lot, Jonathan Gannon. But, I thought he was a little more forthcoming. But the main thing I took out of this press conference today is that you have two coordinators with experience that will not allow the collapse to happen the way it did. So I think we're off and we're in a lot better hands. Just my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, Howie Vision, baby. World just living in it. Dallas still stinks.
Dude, what the fuck?
The Cooper! The flying
Oh my
Frenchman!
god. Oh my god.
C'est bon!
C'est
bon! I'm dizzy. We did it. We did it. We transformed the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. We now have a secondary that is going to be good for years to come. Because one, we got Quinyon Mitchell, but we also got the flying Frenchman, Cooper DeJean. That's right. The flying Frenchman, Cooper DeJean. C'est bon. Oh, here's another interception. That's right. Cooper DeJean is about to dominate the NFL. Can't wait to see him out on the field. And if you're like me and you thought this was a great move by the Eagles and you support this pick, then you definitely want to check out this shirt. The Cooper DeJean Flying Frenchman shirt. Look at this thing. You can see him in midair, flying through the air, transforming to an eagle. That's right. Cooper DeJean is here. Link is in the description. Get your shirt now while you can, because Cooper DeJean is about to take the Eagles to another level. Denzel Washington, out.